Yehya Khalil, legendary drummer and jazz pioneer in Egypt. He's played with giants of the musical world, Eric Clapton, Dizzy Gillespie, Dave Young, and others. At the height of his popularity in the US, he came home to drum up support for jazz music in Egypt. We talked to Khalil about his life, his music, and got to hear him in action.
You started off at a time when the jazz scene in Egypt was dominated by foreigners. How did you manage to penetrate the scene?
Well, it was not easy, but it was really something that I really wanted to do from day one. I tried to put it on the radio. I created a jazz program on Egyptian television in the 60s. Lots of fun for us to go and to play this kind of music and buy a ticket and go inside and hear us, So I did what I did until I left the country, because I really wanted to go to the States, and I wanted to be around all those people that I was fascinated by. And I had wonderful experience traveling around the States by playing all kind of music and meeting all type of people and getting all kind of experience.
How do you think the jazz scene is now? How do you evaluate it compared to the time you started off?
At that time, there was no people that really can say there was a jazz fans, because Egyptians were not really exposed to jazz generally. But now it's another story. There is a jazz popularity, and there is a foundation to jazz music generally, and for public to appreciate this music and stuff like that. And you can tell that when you see somebody or a big name that passed through Egypt. Few and she was very happy, and she told me that she said, "Yehya, I look at how busy this place is, and I remember the old days, and I say that's the work of Yehya Khalil."
You've constantly fused Middle Eastern instruments in your repertoire. How do you manage to do that, especially because jazz is fundamentally a classic American genre?
Jazz is not just a kind of music. It's even more than it is a music. It's a way of playing music. It's a style. So I figure that if we take some Egyptian music that I think that has the feel and has the beat, and we kind of put an injection jazz to it, it will sound jazzy and it will sound different, and people will like it. I think we're on our way. Of course, the public in Egypt are really much more advanced than the musicians or the bands and stuff like that, So they still need a lot of work to catch up with the popularity that jazz is gaining from normal people here in this country.
You've worked among some of the biggest names in jazz and rock. How was it like working with these giants, and who was your favorite?
I was very lucky that I had all this experience with a lot of different types of people and different types of music as well. I played with the country rock in the 60s called Friend and Lovers. For example, we did a concert in Detroit Stadium and with Cream. And then after we played, we came down and they came up and they played, and there was 55,000 people in the stadium. And here was Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce and Eric Clapton, and it was the first time I see Eric Clapton. Anyway, I got to be also lucky to play with a lot of different types of people. Some of them are great jazz musicians, such as Dizzy Gillespie and James Moody and Dave Young and many people.
Do you ever think to yourself sometimes, or do you ever regret coming back?
Tell you the truth, I'm not that type of a person. I mean, I don't think of life that way. I believe that what you go through, you go through. What happened. You cannot change facts in life. But I am an optimistic person. I don't like to look down on things. I like to look at the good possibility in anything in life. I believe that doing the best out of anything and everything you can will always put you ahead. And I'm very happy with what I've done. I'm very happy with my life, and I'm happy.
What do your neighbors think of you?
If they don't hear me play for 2-3 days, they ask me, were you sick or something? Or you traveling? Or why you're not here? Sometimes I finish practicing here. I go out of the window, people are out there, and they're clapping.
So what's okay?
I love it.